He's back. Hide, quick. I'm Lao Wang. I just slept with my neighbor's wife. Unluckily, her husband Kong rushed home overnight with flowers. I had to hide under the bed. Honey, you're so romantic. I love you to death. Oh yeah? If you love me that much, then die for real. What the hell? Why does Kong suddenly want to kill her? He snapped out of nowhere. Without any warning, he pinned Xiaomei to the bed and choked her. He was vicious, like he'd planned it. After the struggle stopped, I heard Kong say half a sentence, finally dead. Damn it, next it's that guy's turn. So Kong knew Xiaomei had another man. I was shaking, barely daring to breathe. I quietly pulled out my phone to check if it was fully on silent. I nearly cried out in fear. Did Kong know I was that man? But luckily, he didn't seem to know I was under the bed. With trembling hands, I hung up Kong's call, then switched to WeChat and typed, covering a shift, in a meeting. It's fine. Wanna find Brother Wang? You're having late night food? What time are you off? Let's get a good meal. Not sure I'll be back. You eat with your wife. My treat another day. After sending that, I calmed down and thought, what now? Obviously I had to call the cops. But calling wasn't an option. The slightest noise, and I'd die. Then I remembered a WeChat group. It was a few friends I met playing basketball after moving here. No strings attached. Just ball, drinks, and late night food. Totally simple. Asking them for help might work. Just as I thought that, the bed started shaking again. Damn, why is he so heavy? I turned my head and saw Xiaomei had been thrown off the bed. At that moment, it felt like she was looking right at me. I froze in terror for a while. When I snapped out of it, I quickly turned off my screen. If Kong got down to deal with the body, he'd see me. So I stayed still for over 10 seconds. But Kong still didn't start dealing with Xiaomei's body. Instead, I heard him talking. Babe, I did it. She's dead. But listen, I've got a little problem here. Damn it. Lao Wang isn't home. Says he's working late. He hardly ever works. He might be out all night. What do we do? I have his door code, but if he's not there, that's tricky. Hearing that, I was even more shocked. So Kong was cheating too. He was on the phone with his mistress, and he actually had my door code. I took the chance to secretly send an SOS to that group. Guys, emergency. Please call the cops for me. Tianling Complex, Building 13, 1404. My neighbor killed a woman. I saw it clearly, but I can't call. Please help. This is no joke. After sending it, I just prayed at least one of them was still awake. Just one. Luckily, right away, a friend nicknamed Old Gao replied. Quit joking. Filing a false report is serious. You could get locked up for days. If you can text, why can't you call the cops? I didn't want to explain. I was under the killer's bed. And if I explained, it'd expose that I was cheating. Then I got an idea and made up a not-so-smart excuse. My phone's broken. I can't make calls. I saw a murder, my legs gave out, and I'm too scared to go outside. Or just send me the online police report link. This is really a murder case. Okay, don't panic. I'll call 110 right now. Seeing that message, I instantly relaxed a lot. Now I just had to stay hidden and wait for the police. What? Lao Wang? His phone's broken, he can't call the cops, and he saw me kill someone? What's going on? Someone in my WeChat group had forwarded my message straight to the mistress. My hand shook as I raised my phone and opened WeChat. Then I saw I'd been kicked out of the group. But I could still see the chat history. Turns out after Old Gao agreed to call the cops, the group owner, Old Zhang, suddenly said, ignore him, don't fall for it. He tricked me last time into filing a fake report. Huge hassle. I'm kicking him out for the night so he can think about it. I got it. Old Zhang had tipped them off. I quickly pulled up my contacts and tapped Old Gao's avatar. I was just about to beg him to keep helping me call the cops when the light outside suddenly went out. I was stunned. I killed my screen at once so the light wouldn't give me away. Power's out. I'm starting it. Get up here, now. We have to deal with this fast. So he caused the blackout. But start what? After making sure he wasn't moving, I quietly unlocked my phone again, and there was no signal. Did Kong have signal jamming gear? Was that what he meant by starting it? At that moment, I suddenly felt this might be even more complicated than I'd thought. For one, Kong clearly had more than just his mistress helping him. And also, the owner of my local friends group just happened to know Kong's mistress. That was too much of a coincidence. No way it was that coincidental. Kong, we're here. 1402, right? Then I heard that strange voice. It was crackly, like it was coming through a speaker. A walkie-talkie. They'd actually prepared walkie-talkies. The one speaking sounded like Old Zhang. He got to my door that fast. So he'd been waiting downstairs. What kind of trap is this, and what's the point? The door code is 850705. His woman's birthday. Be careful going in. I'm dealing with Xiaomei's body. I quickly locked my phone screen. Almost forgot. Xiaomei's body was still on the floor. I held my breath and turned toward Xiaomei, ready to watch Dakong at any second. Xiaomei was still rolling her eyes and sticking out her tongue, and her neck had been snapped. The bones looked soft and stretched out. It was grotesque. Was I seeing things? There was a flash in Xiaomei's eyes. I nearly screamed from the shock. Could she still be alive? Or was her resentment still there? What the hell? Her head was twisting wildly. I was totally stunned, cold sweat soaking my back. Then I looked closer. Dakong was dragging her away. I wiped the cold sweat off my forehead and quietly let out a breath. I planned to save myself while Dakong was disposing of Xiaomei's body. Just as I started to move, and was about to crawl out from under the bed, the intercom sounded again. Nobody's in the storage room. Sis-in-law and I searched everywhere. Couldn't find him at all. The sis-in-law old Zhang mentioned had to be that mistress. Looks like she'd been waiting downstairs too. What exactly were the three of them plotting? They even cut the power and jammed the signal. I don't believe all this was just to kill me and Xiaomei. But what else do I even have worth stealing? Dakong seemed furious and threw Xiaomei to the floor. From the sound of it, he wasn't in the room anymore. I quickly pressed to the floor and crawled out from under the bed. Look carefully. Didn't he just text that? No way it was to throw us off. With his IQ? He'd never spot anything wrong with you. No, honey, something really is off. I just can't figure out why old Wang didn't call the cops. The call couldn't go through? That's fake. I think there's only one possibility. He couldn't make a sound. Do you think old Wang might be hiding in your room? My heart jolted. I jumped up and looked around at the window. I rushed to it. At this size, I can squeeze out. I couldn't worry about what happened after. Because I heard Dakong outside the door say, "No way. You think I'm that stupid?" The room's tiny. Where could he hide? He sounded impatient, but his footsteps were already heading back into the room. I quickly climbed out the window. Luckily there was a ledge outside. I pressed to the wall and edged to the side, so no one in the room could spot me at a glance. This was the 16th floor, and the wind was howling. One look down made my legs go weak, but if I stayed inside, I was dead for sure. Hiding here was my only gamble. Then I heard Dakong rummaging all over the room, cursing too. Fuck, where'd he hide? In the closet? Under the bed? I told you, no. He's definitely not in this room. Search carefully. We're out of time. It'll be midnight soon. Midnight? Are they trying to kill me before midnight? What kind of rule is that? Fuck, Xiaomei's body is gone. I just dragged her out to the living room and left her here. I only searched the room for 2 minutes. Did you move her? Of course not. We're still over here. Didn't you already kill her? How could she be gone? Hearing that, I thought of what I'd just seen in Xiaomei. Her condition, her expression, that flash in her eyes. Could it be, she really came back from the dead? The wind held outside the building. Thinking Xiaomei might have reanimated made my legs even weaker. Dakong, is something wrong with you? Are you really Dakong? Fuck you. Weren't you the one watching old Wang the whole time? Why doubt me now? Watch out for everything before midnight. What was that? What happened? There was no response from the other side at all. He must have rushed to my place. This is my chance. Shaking all over, I climbed back in and gasped for air. I didn't know what was happening in my home, or if Xiaomei had really come back. But right then, all I wanted was to run. I rushed out of the bedroom, about to bolt for the front door. But when I looked up, I saw a dark figure outside the door, slowly moving in. Who was it? Dachong or Old Zhang? My heart was pounding. Whoever it was, I was screwed. It was Xiaomei. Well, not exactly Xiaomei. She staggered forward, moving slowly, like a zombie. My mind went blank. On instinct, I ran back to the bedroom and locked the door. Xiaomei really had reanimated. Dakong, they might already be dead. And if Xiaomei's like this, I may be next. I looked around the bedroom for something to defend myself with. Using my phone flashlight, I rummaged through the room. Then I found a black briefcase that didn't belong there, and I couldn't help opening it. Inside were some paper files, some of them very old. I flipped through them one by one, like handling relics. Then suddenly, I saw Xiaomei's photo on one of the pages. I pulled it out. It was a hospital file. It said Xiaomei had died long ago, a whole year ago. Then who have I been sleeping with this past month? So maybe the Xiaomei just now didn't come back from the dead. Maybe she was never human. That would explain it. Maybe Dakong wasn't trying to murder his wife at all. Maybe he was just trying to kill the inhuman Xiaomei. Maybe the three of them aren't bad people, but why are they trying to kill me? Is it because I slept with Xiaomei, so they think I got infected? And I'm not human either? Full of questions, I kept reading the files. Damn it, he came over here. Don't be scared of him. He's just a walking corpse. Didn't you say strangling him would do it? Then how'd he end up like this? There's only half an hour till midnight. We're running out of time. So they were fine after all, then. If I explain to Kong that I'm just a normal person, will they let me go? Chop him. Chop his head off. We'll hold him down. Go get a knife, quick. A cleaver will do. Okay, from the sounds of it, old Zhang and Kong had already subdued Xiaomei and sent the mistress to get a cleaver. Looks like I misunderstood Kong. His real wife, Xiaomei, had been dead for over a year. The one I thought was the mistress was actually his current wife. I yanked the door open and rushed out, running straight into Kong's wife as she came from the kitchen with a cleaver. She looked stunned. I shouted, "Give me the knife. I know how to destroy Xiaomei." Yeah, the files in that briefcase had already told me the whole truth. I had to do something now. Kong's wife froze on the spot, and in the living room not far away, Kong and old Zhang were pinning Xiaomei down, so she had no time to care what was happening here. Trust me, I'm not a demon. I can kill Xiaomei and prove it. I snatched the cleaver and turned toward the living room, moving closer. I shouted as I walked toward them, but what I was really aiming for was old Zhang's neck. As long as I killed old Zhang, tonight's farce would probably end peacefully. You finally showed yourself. Almost at the same time, a rope suddenly tightened around my neck and yanked me down. I slammed hard onto the floor. It hurt so bad. I knew it, they were a pair of fiends. One would never leave the other behind. So this had all been a trap. They let Xiaomei play dead and cause chaos just to lure me out. That's right. The files in that briefcase had told me everything. Yin and Yang fiends were originally a tragic couple from the northern Song, 900 years ago. They were wronged in life and tortured to death. After death, their intense hatred turned them into the Yin-Yang fiends, wreaking havoc in the human world. And every 300 years, their evil power weakens. The pair's powers weaken with it. Then after surviving the trial of reincarnation, they can be reborn as humans. But if, before midnight on that night of reincarnation, they find a young man and woman with matching birth data, kill them, and possess them, they can escape reincarnation and keep wandering the human world. Xiaomei and I are the legendary Yin-Yang fiends. Yeah. Xiaomei and I were the evil ones. And old Zhang and Kong, who seemed like ruthless killers hunting us down, were actually carrying out heaven's justice. Today was the last day for Xiaomei and me to escape another reincarnation. We were so close, so close. As long as Xiaomei and I possessed Kong and his wife before midnight tonight, we could escape reincarnation. But now old Zhang and Kong had me tied up tight and thrown beside Xiaomei, waiting for whatever they'd do to us. Old Zhang looked at us and sighed. Do you know how long I've been looking for you? Let's end this today. I hope you let go of your hatred and be good people in your next lives. He pulled out a ritual tool, twisted the mechanism, and the room was instantly bathed in red light. I glanced at dead Xiaomei, shut my eyes in despair, and waited for fate to hit. Suddenly I heard a dull thud, then the sound of someone falling. I couldn't help opening my eyes, and saw Kong and old Hu holding a baseball bat, while old Zhang had collapsed at his feet. What's going on? Haha. Kong suddenly burst out laughing. Everything's under my control. Staring at it all, my head filled with question marks. Why did Kong's wife suddenly attack old Zhang? Wasn't old Zhang here to help him kill me and Xiaomei? And why wasn't I dead? What the hell was going on? Kong glanced at my stunned face and snorted. Fine. Since you're a poor bastard who's about to die, I'll let you die knowing the truth. Call it thanks for your body, my body. That's right. Me and her are the Yin-Yang fiends. Kong pointed at his eerily grinning wife. As for you, me and Xiaomei, you and Xiaomei, I just slipped hallucinogens into your food and drinks and scrambled your memories. Couldn't be helped. You two just happened to share our birth dates. If we wanted to survive another cycle, we had to possess new bodies. More than a month ago, I set my sights on you and started tailing you. When you came home, I stole a look at your passcode and snuck into your room. I put hallucinogens in your water and food, then while you slept. Every night I fed you memories in your ears, that you and Xiaomei were lovers, that you were neighbors. And both living alone, I staged a few chance meetings. And sure enough, you fell in love. Ha ha ha. Kong got smug over his flawless plan and laughed out loud. To keep a better eye on you, I had to sacrifice myself. I moved in pretending to be Xiaomei's husband. Things went even smoother than I imagined. Ha ha ha. Honey, you're amazing. Kong's wife looked at him with total admiration. But honey, once we possess them and gain eternal life, what do we do with him? She pointed at old Zhang. Kill him, of course. He knows too much. Eternal life? I couldn't help blurting out. What eternal life? It's that. Kong's wife smugly pointed at the ritual tool on the floor and said, poor old Zhang. He still doesn't know. As long as he used the ritual tool the way we told him, it would keep boosting our power forever, let us live forever, and we'd never go through reincarnation again. Ha ha ha. As she spoke, she twisted her body strangely, and a flash lit up in her eyes. That light was exactly the same as the one I'd seen in Xiaomei's eyes before. I instinctively looked at Xiaomei beside me. In her eyes, that same light flashed again. The next second, her lips moved, and in an extremely strange voice she said, actually, back then, I was watching you. Back then. That meant when I was hiding under the bed, she'd already been staring at me. I stared at possessed Xiaomei on the floor, speechless. With a mocking look, Kong kicked old Zhang on the ground and sneered, I really should thank your master. Good thing he died so suddenly. He didn't even have time to teach you how to get rid of us. But seriously, what gave you the guts? Your skills suck, and you still tried to play hero. My whole body went cold as I collapsed to the floor. Duh. Ching. And no, that young fiend glanced at me with contempt and said impatiently, enough. I'm done wasting words. Time's almost up. Just die already. He grinned viciously, walked toward me step by step, reached out, and clamped both hands around my throat. I felt his grip tightening. The suffocation hit hard. I was in agony, but I couldn't cry out. A deep despair and unwillingness surged up, and my head began to spin. Through my haze, I vaguely saw old Zhang quietly get up and stab that fiend with a knife. I only heard a scream, then she dropped to the floor. Hearing the noise behind him, the young fiend stopped what he was doing, turned around, and looked. What did you do? Seeing his other half on the ground, the young fiend roared. I'm carrying out heaven's justice, old Zhang answered sternly. The young fiend froze, then sneered again. Too bad you're too late. You'll find out what real despair is, soon enough. Old Zhang stayed calm and glanced at the clock on the wall. Yangsha followed his gaze. It was exactly midnight, and the two fiends suddenly cried out in pain. What's going on? Yangsha? Jinming asked, confused, what did you do? Hearing that, old Zhang picked up the ritual tool, his eyes turning cold. Then he said slowly, you thought I'd really be dumb enough to fall for that? Turn it one way, and it can send you on, into reincarnation. Turn it the other way, and it endlessly boosts your power. It gives you eternal life, right? You. Realizing the truth was out, Yangsha gave a bitter smile and asked unwillingly, after all these years, why won't you people just let us go? Why? I should be asking why you hurt innocent people in this world. In 1124, during Emperor Xuanhe of northern Song, torrential rain caused floods, and countless people were displaced. In 1359, during the Yuan dynasty's Jijing era, dozens of prefectures were hit by locusts. No harvests. Starving corpses for miles. In 1642, the Yellow River burst its banks. So many lives were lost. Need I say more? Weren't these disasters brought into the world by your evil aura? You've committed endless evil in this world just to prove your love. And you still dare ask me why? After old Zhang finished, the two fiends fell silent. This ends here. It's all over. I hope in your next life, you'll be good people. Then the two fiends wailed and slowly dissolved into two wisps of smoke. I stared on in shock, like I'd survived a disaster. Looking at it all, it took me a long time to snap out of it. Then I looked at old Zhang and asked, why you knew all along? Old Zhang nodded. Then he slowly began to clear up all my doubts. My sect has hunted the two fiends for generations. A year ago, my master suddenly fell gravely ill. He didn't have time to teach me everything about the Vermilion Sand two fiends. He only left behind this ritual tool, then passed away in a hurry. As the time drew near, the two fiends entered another cycle of reincarnation. Even though I still hadn't fully mastered this tool, I knew if I missed this chance, I'd have to wait another 300 years. At least for now, I could secretly follow them and track their next move. So after settling my affairs with my junior brothers, I went down the mountain to find the two fiends. At that time, their evil aura had weakened. The tool could only vaguely sense that they were somewhere in this complex. So I set up a feng shui stall in the complex and kept watch. When I was stuck, a man named Kong came to see me. He said his family seemed to be haunted lately. At first, I really fell for Kong's trick and thought you and Xiaomei were the two fiends. The files in that black briefcase were shown to you on purpose. The goal was to lure you all into showing up together on the last night so I could wipe you out at once. Then one night, I took him out for late-night food and drinks, and after he got drunk, he stared greedily at my ritual tool. It should be twisted like this, he said drunkenly, testing me. You want to teach me how to use it? I handed it to him, and he instinctively flinched back. It was slight, but I saw it clearly. That's when I got suspicious. Kong said he just found that info online. He said he wanted to help me figure out how to subdue the two fiends, but, besides my sect, almost no one knows about them. So saying he found it online obviously didn't hold up. At the time, I still couldn't figure out who Kong really was. To avoid tipping him off, I pretended to be drunk too and changed the subject. After I got back, I kept fiddling with the tool and accidentally found it could do more than twist the way Kong said. It could actually twist the other way too. At that moment, a terrifying suspicion gradually became clear in my mind. Later, I secretly tailed Kong. I found he snuck into your house every few days, and when he came out, he'd always dump a black plastic bag. I opened it. It was used hallucinogens. That confirmed my suspicion. But on my own, I couldn't take them head on. So I played along and waited for this day. Then I planned to join you too and subdue them, but I didn't expect him to be that impatient. He killed Xiaomei right away, wanting the evil spirit to possess someone first. I was furious, but it had come to this. So I had to stay calm and keep going with my plan. While setting the array, when Kong wasn't looking, I quietly turned the ritual tool the other way. That's how I stopped them. At that, he looked at me and at dead Xiaomei, sighed, and went on. I hope they're kind people in the next life. After that, old Zhang fell silent for a long time. I looked at my poor little sister beside me, dead for no reason, and tears slid down without a sound. Yeah, it was over. It was all over.